Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
Good to hear your voice.
Yours as well. And I heard an extra voice there.
Yes, this is Andre. We make a sound check before the session starts that both
Awesome.
microphones are working and there's a stream to YouTube.
Hi, how are you? Cool. So, how's your weather there?
At the moment, there are snowballs.
Snowball?
Yes, it's not like, how you, yeah, like little
Little
balls. Yes, like rain and those like ice balls. Not
snow?
snowballs, but
Oh,
ice balls. Ice
like
balls, yes.
we call them sleet over here.
Yes.
Wow,
Suddenly,
that's
it was like,
cold.
yes,
That sounds like it's cold.
yes, it is cold, but the colors are beautiful.
Oh, awesome.
This weather is rare because it brings so distinct colors that usually we don't have them here in the Middle East. So it's beautiful season in terms of colors and distinction. So
Oh, that's
I
fun.
appreciate it a lot. Jill, do you have any questions or thoughts or impressions that you'd like to share with us?
Um, I don't. When I wake up in the morning time, I always do, and I don't write them down. And then when I get to class, it's like I forget.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Here we have friends. Fernando is here. Good morning. And we have a friend, Nob. Microphones are open and you are welcome to speak. Good morning, Fernando, and good evening, Nob. If there aren't any questions or thoughts or impressions that you'd like to share with us, we can move to the whiteboard and we can read one or two verses from the book of Judges, chapter 4, and try and see what is behind those words. The majors ideas. Of course, we can always develop them more and more, and we can create more dialogues with more verses and ideas which are popping up as we read and enter the gates. So, Jill, would you like to read those verses, please? I'll make the board accessible in
Yeah.
terms of yes.
Okay. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time, and she sat under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the children of Israel came up to her for judgment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I would like us for the moment to look at the Hebrew term of the location. Where was she sitting? Ben Harama. There is here. Let's go to the English between Ramah and Beth El. So we think this is a geographical description, but it's a more consciousness state. I would like to, this is a state within us between Bet El or between Ramah and Bet El is a place of conscious within us. I would like to open now the letters and please correct my English if I don't pronounce the words right. I have sometimes sense that I'm mistaken, but I don't know how to pronounce it right.
No, conscious sounded right to me.
Co-
A place of consciousness.
con- yes, thank you, Jill. You helped me a lot. 1 second. Let's write the names Ramah, Ramah, and Bet El and give them values One second, it's a thick pen at the moment because I enlarged the board. Rama, Rama, Rama. One second, it's very, very cold here. Excuse me, I have to shade it here a bit. There's a lot of wind coming. One second, excuse me. Rama and Bethel, the house of God, Bethel. Bethel, they write it like this, Bethel. Let's give them value. Resh, 200, Mem, 40, Hey, 5. So together they are 245. Is it right? Check me, please.
Yes.
Yes. And Bethel, the house of God. This is the literal house of God. Bethel, Bet is 2, Yod is 10, Tav is 400. Together they are 1412. Check me. 1 and
Yes.
30. So 31. Let's do Bethel together. 412 plus 31. This is 3. 3. No, 4. Excuse me, I'm running in my head a bit. 4, 4, 3. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes. Now let's, because this is not a geographical. People, when read the Bible, they think geographical, historical, botanical, archaeological. No, those are state of conscious inside of us. So what does it mean to be between Ramah and Bethel inside of us? So we take the value of Bethel 443 plus Ramah 245, and what do we get? 8, 8, 6. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, since it's between, so we have to divide this sum into 2. 688 divide into 2. So what do we get? 34. Is that right? Jill, check me.
No.
Fernando, no. Is
Yes,
that right?
it's correct.
Look what happens when we add to this again the one that includes everything, or the power of love that unites everything. We get 3, 4, 5. So what is this mental space inside of us which is located inside of us between Bet El and Ramah? What is this place? What is 345? What is this mental space within us? Let me help with geometry. 345, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Fernando, good morning. Can you hear us? 345 is the value of Moshe, Moses, but also Hashem, meaning the name. The name, not just like private names, but Shem from Sham. So we can, the mental space inside of us, which can withdraw or has an access to names, to words, to conscious speech. Do we understand this concept? So it's not about the judge Deborah, because it's not about historical figure. The question is, what did name Deborah mean? I did not mention yet. 1 second, I have to move to the pen. 1 second. Deborah. Second, with the pen. Deborah. It is written with Vav. 1 second, or without. Let me check how with Vav. Yes. Deborah. Devorah. And if we take the two letters of the tetragrammaton, which are here, Vav and He, outside, we get the root is Davar or Diber, speech, or the Ten Commandments. We call them in English commands, but those are the 10 speeches of God. Diber. Diber is the speech of God. So it's not about that the prophet Deborah, the historical figure, was sitting in a geographical location between Bet El and Ramah, but the divine speech that comes out of our mouth is comes from a space within us which is called, I mean, it's between, it has to do between. It has to be balanced between Bet El and Ramah. Ramah in Hebrew is a high place. So it has to be a merge, the speech that comes out clear of our mouths has to come from two spaces which are, or two sources which are merged together, a high place of conscious and also the house of God. Is it clear?
Yes.
Questions? Charles, good afternoon. Fernando, good morning. Your microphones are open. Another thing that I would like to review. Yes,
Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing fine. Well, I don't have actually, specific question, but I would like to know about Deborah. That can you just give us some information on Deborah?
the name Deborah or Dvorah
No,
in
not no,
Hebrew.
no, not the name, but who was that person and what is the
We don't
historical
speak.
importance of
We
Deborah?
don't speak. We don't speak now about historical aspects here. This is external idea. We speak about inner modes of conscious inside of us. History and in biology and geometry and uh, geography can be found all over the net.
But Deborah was also a person in.
We don't speak about Deborah as a person. Nothing here is personal.
Okay.
Nothing. Thank you. Questions? Thoughts?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so the um Ramah, a high place, and Bethel, the house of God, and so the middle of it, the place of consciousness. Um,
Yes.
I think I'm trying to understand. how it looks inside of like of me, I guess. Um,
Yes.
is it is two separate places, or is it two separate places?
The speech, if we look at a human face, we have like seven openings in a human face, like the 7 days of creation. We have two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, and one mouth. Everything is double eyes, ears, nostrils, but one mouth we have. And it's in the middle of the face, it's in the middle of everything. So the speech that comes out from the mouth, which is one, it's like the structure of the menorah. The structure of the menorah has the same structure as a human face. It doesn't come from nowhere. The structure. We speak about structures. So the center of the menorah, we call this center of the menorah Shamash. Shamash, illuminator from Shemesh. He like illuminates the other. It's like the seventh day. Like we have seventh day, our mouth is also called the seventh day. In the seventh day, the soul returns to its place. So our speech, in the same manner as coming from the seventh day, returns to its origin. First of all, this concept, now we speak like about opening in the human face. First of all, the concept that the mouth is in the middle of the face is clear. This is clear because it's not a dual organ. The tongue is split, which is inside of the mouth, but the mouth itself is one. Is it right? First of all, to settle the ground between us, is it right?
Yes.
Yes. So the speech also is unified. If our minds, wisdom, and understanding are not unified, we cannot speak. So the speech is a consequence of two streams. They merge together and then we can speak. Here, here we find wisdom and understanding as names of places. Ramah is like wisdom, and Bet El, yes, is the house of God. So it's like the hay, the yod and the hay. This is the yod and the hay. Ramah can refer to wisdom, high place, and Beth El is the hay, understanding. Because here we have already three lines. The hay is like a vessel, is like a triangle. We have like horizontal, vertical, and depth. The foot of the hay is like the depth, the third dimension. So the speech can come out from our mouths if our two minds, wisdom and understanding, that communicating to each other. Otherwise, we could not speak.
T.
Yes.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Shalom. Yes, I can. Good morning.
Great, good evening. I was with some issues in my microphone, and I have a question, Iti. It's about judgment. You
Yes.
know, each one of us would prefer mercy than judgment. And it's interesting because here we have this verse saying that the children of Israel came up to her for judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we get the book Tomer Devorah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the book. It's about the 13 aspects of mercy.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is about this duality between judgment and mercy, and how it works in this scheme of tree of life.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So Fernando was asking about the word judgment. First of all, let's locate the word here in the text. Where is it? They are coming to her for judgment. La mishpat. What once I would like here. La mishpat. This is the word that Fernando was looking. The word mishpat in Hebrew means two things: judgment and sentence. What does it mean? In English, we say the judge sentenced the person for 20 years. We say sentence, yes. But sentence is also when we combine few words together. The child ate the apple. This is a sentence. This is a combination or a sequence of few words create a sentence. So in this case, mishpat is a sentence, logic sentence, but also a judgment. But I would like to read to the verb shafat, judge, and see how it comes together. 1 second, I'll move. With your question about Tomer Deborah, the palm of Deborah, this is the question. And 13, this is the question. So Shafat is judge. 1 second, we have another friend here. Yes. Shafat. Shafat is the verb to judge. Shafat. The value of Shafat is 300, yes, 80 and 9. 389 plus 1. How do we judge with the mouse that speaks unified speech? We have 309 like Shamayim, heavens. Now, love and mercy, love, in Hebrew, ahava, has the value of 13. And when we divide Shafat, judgment, plus the higher judge, the sovereign, which comes from the heavenly place inside of us, 390, divided to 13, which is love, what we get? 3. Fernando, did I answer your question?
Yes, it's interesting and it's beautiful because we have 13 aspects of mercy, right? It's 13 that's equal love.
Yes. Yes. 13 attributes of mercy. What does it mean? We have 10 spheres. 10 spheres from crown until heavenly kingdom, like we have 10 fingers. And there are 3 lines or chords in the tree of life. There's the right line. One second, I'll make here another drawing. Explain these certain attributes of mercy here. 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 Those are the upper, the highest, wisdom, understanding, and crown. And here we have this is the 7 lower, like the says of the week. Those are infinite, the 3. So the right line is here. So I have one column. The left line is here. And the middle is here. So we have 10 spheres in total, plus 3 lines. Right side, which is grace. Left, it's more with limitation, I would say. Limitation and measure. Limitation and measure. And the middle, which is combining both of them. So we have 10 spheres plus 3 columns. This is 13. Questions?
Just thank you, it. Yes.
Welcome. Of course, I would like us to look again at the link of judgment. Shaphat. Shaphat is he judged. Is like mutual letters like Safa. Safa is both Safa is both a lip but also language. So it's interesting that the judgment comes out through the language, through the lip, excuse me, through through the language, through the lip outside. And the judgment in a way is finite. Safa, we say Safa, also sof, sof, like in a way that if there's a judgment, this is what it is. Puts a line and that's it. In a way ends things, judgment. Safa from sof. Why the lip or the language makes end? Because there's infinite, but once we speak into time and space, and in a way to speak into time and spaces, we entering a finite field, I would say. Questions? Please feel free
And
to ask whatever you like.
yes,
Yes,
and the mercy is related with the silence that you are with the, because we have different
yes,
aspects of
yes,
God.
yes.
Like Elohim
Mm-hmm.
is related with judgment, and we have
Mm-hmm.
Hashem related with mercy and love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering here, because, like I said, when we read the Torah, when we read the Bible, all that we wish for is not to be judged. No, we want mercy. We want to be forgiven from our mistakes and everything. Uh, but it's a very common theme in the book of Zohar, the force of judgment that is related with Elohim and Shekhinah, and in the other side of the balance is the mercy. And now you just point that the judgment is related with what we speak, with the language, with the constriction of the infinite.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Because also it's good what you said. Yes, yes. Please
no,
continue.
just thinking what could mean the force of mercy. You know,
The first, because it's good what you ask because the speech is finite in a way, not all the time. But once it goes out, it has a body. And you ask where love is. Love is in a way outside, beyond, in a way, space and time. Because the name Elohim is the manifested. Also, the name Elohim implies in Hebrew all on multiplicity or multiple aspects. But the tetragrammaton is the hidden name, and in a way, it doesn't have a body. So love is where we don't have body. Is it clear? Because everything happens in the dimension of thinking. Here, when we look, where is this sketch that I did about wisdom and understanding? Here, the yod does not have a body. Wisdom, our mind. Here, there's no yet a body. This is only a spark, a potential. Also, the yod, we call it a dot, or a spot in geometry. So it has a, where can we lift it? It has no dimension. Only here, in understanding, the spark will get a body. Here is the yod, the potential. The potential starts with the yod, but understanding flesh out, spark, flesh out, flesh from flesh. Here, yes. And then we have body, we have words. If we take every line of the hay as Vav, and Vav is 6, 6, 6, we have 12 plus Yod, which is 10, we have 22. 22 is the number of the Hebrew letters. Yes, the number of the Hebrew letters in the alphabet, 22, but we take it also as 2 plus 2, or 2 double 2, or 2 in the power of 2. Yes, and this is 4, 4, 4. So we have a matter. Understanding is a matter. Also, our mouth, this is understanding, this is in the mind. And then there's spirit, our mouth, they speak Malchut. Our mouth is also called in the books Malchut. Malchut de Rosh, the heavenly kingdom that is inside of our head. Our mouth has the shape of the hay. Look, I'll make here another drawing. When our mouth, we can see this in cartoon. When our mouth is open, it looks like this. We can circle here, like, and the yod, in a way, the foot of the hay is the tongue. So when we speak, we have this also in the New Testament, Besorah, Besorah, revelation, basar, flesh. The word is something, when word goes out of the human mouth, it's embodied. We don't relate to it. We look like if there's something on the table, like a flower pot. This is a matter, a flower pot, something on the table, or a pencil box. But words are matter. Well,
And the var is a thing as well. Right.
yes, the var is a thing. Right? It's like an object, so to speak. It's a thing. Yes.
And
Question.
basar is a message as well. So
Yes.
basar and
Yes.
besorah, it's flesh
Basar,
and it's
Besorah,
message.
and Mevaser. Yes, I will write those words. Yes. So we have basar. Basar is flesh. Basar, the flesh. Basar. And we have Besorah. Revelation. How do I spell
Revelation.
But the one, the messenger who brings the revelation, is named in Hebrew Mevaser. Mevaser. The one who brings the revelation, Mevaser. He brings out the Mem. Mem is like 40, the time, yes. Mevaser.
I'm sorry,
The
Eddie.
one
It's
who manifests the flesh. Yes, yes, Jill?
Revelation. I'm sorry. It's Revel.
Rev.
Yeah, Vel.
Yeah, second. So the one who brings the revelation is Mevaser. 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 We have one verse, I think, in Psalms that how beautiful is the feet of the one who brings the revelation. 1 second, I'll bring it. Meanwhile, you can think and or bring ideas or ask questions. You can look at the pictures if they're inspiring you or not.
Yes, I'm curious about the pictures. Yes.
Yes, yes, not in Psalms, but this is in Isaiah, Isaiah 52. Yes, he says, I have to bring the English Bible, Isaiah 52. Isaiah 7. Okay. Isaiah 52 7. Let's get closer. And who would like to read?
I can read.
Yes.
How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the messenger of good tidings, that announceth peace, the harbinger of good things, that announceth salvation, that saith unto Zion, Thy God reigneth.
Thank you so much. And here we see the feet of the messenger, Mevaser. Do you see, Fernando? Mevaser, the one
Yes.
gives the news. Yes, very good. Mevaser here, messenger, Mevaser. Mem, Mem always like telling us there's like time sequence here. Mem, it's like a womb also. Mevaser, the womb, the mouth that brings the Mevaser. Mevaser. Yes, Fernando. What about the pictures, or if you have questions in general, please feel free to ask. There's one here on the left. This is from Judges 4. This is Yael. Yael taking care of Sisra, the, the minister of army. Yes. This is a book from Germany. Yes, still in Latin. There's like hand painting here. And here we have another on the right side from the Bible of the Crusaders. Here, the war. This is a very detailed. I think this is, yes, 2 years before the Darmstadt Bible. This is the Bible of the Crusaders. We can see very detailed picture. You can see the writing here in Arabic letters at the bottom in Arabic. Now, questions or impressions that you would like to share with us? Do we have a sound? Do you hear us?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The idea is it just to resume is the importance of the word and how I think is
Yes.
related. The word is related with judgment and the importance of a good word. It's almost good deeds. So
Yeah,
to
it's
not.
it's not almost is doing is speaking. This is what Weinreb says. Speaking is doing. We think that just doing things with the hands, this is doing. But to speak good words, this is the speech from the tree of life. This is basically doing. We can build uh, worlds with words. If you take a child and you speak from the beginning, you speak to them with a loving speech and uh, educational speech, you can bring a lot of from a child. He can grow much closer to himself than a child that is being mistreated with words. Um, so, a good speech, a motivated speech. There's a beautiful movie, I think 12 O'Clock High, in which American commander, they have an air force and they're in the middle of the Second World War, and they're losing. I mean, the Germans are attacking and they're losing manpower every day more and more. The German takes the American Navy down. And they're in the middle of Europe, and the commander collects his men, and they have been having dogfight, meaning they are seeing their enemies in the eyes while they're. This was the war. I mean, in Second World War, and they don't have any power left, and they just go to the air, try to beat the enemy, and return, take the fuel again, and people are gone. I mean, there's no army, there's no pilot left, and still the commander needs to motivate them to fight. And they have no airplanes and no manpower, and nothing is basically, they have left with nothing. But the commander speaks to them and say, it's a very distinct speech. If you cannot die twice, he says to them, think that you already have died, and then you can fight. This is there's a movie, English movie. Gergo Peck is the commander, and he gives them this speech, and it motivates them because suddenly they gain a new spirit, and then they also support and help. But those words of the commander help them to sustain the team until they will manage to recruit more manpower.
It is interesting, it's very interesting how with the word we can bring new spirit through the word. And
Yes,
Freud said the healing through the word as well, through the conversation, you know.
yes,
And so we have this double aspect, I think, of the word. The first one is to judge, because most of the time that we are talking, we are judging others,
mm,
and we have the other kind of speech that is related with the tree of life, that is this loving kindness and this bringing life, talking about Torah, right? So
yes,
it's a deep topic, I think. It's,
yes. And you said it. Yes, and I think when you were speaking about Freud, I was thinking about the verse in which God blew air in Adam's nostrils. And what if the blow is the ability to speak? ויהי האדם לנפש חיה. Nefesh, just in the term of level, like blood. Nefesh chaya, like a living soul that can speak. So what does it mean? Or what do we do with this ability? We have granted with the divine speech. The divine speech can create. Like we said, look at the words of the commander, look at the words of the educator or a parent, which gives the child a bit of space, but see the potential of a child. So, with words, we can build, or we can create disputes and judgment and also wars. When the words are falling, polemic, we say in English polemic, or in ancient Greek, the minister of army used to be known. You can find it polemachos, polemic. Like, how do we start a war with aggravating each other with words? Polemachos, archon is like the minister or so. So, if the speech is falling, like the Nephilim, We learn about the Nephilim if the speech is falling. So we have war and judgment and plagues, hate speeches. So humanity is falling. But if we speak words like divine words, like with grace, we can build world. Yes, Fernando.
Beautiful, Eti. It makes me remember one story in the book of Zohar about Joseph. That when
Yes.
he, if you could open it more, because I just remember one thing, that is when he was going to talk with the Pharaoh, he the Pharaoh noticed that Joseph could speak any language, and plus Hebrew that the Pharaoh didn't knew. So it seems that Joseph knew all the existing language of the world, like the 70 languages of the world. And and the Pharaoh noticed that since this man knew so many languages, he was a sage, and he became his minister, and he brought life to the Mitzrayim, and not only for Mitzrayim, but he brought life also to Canaan, because Canaan was passing harsh times. So it seems that was this power of the speech of Joseph that could unite the two worlds, right?
Yes, this is it. It's very good what you're saying. Very good. Thank you for your comment, Fernando. I would like to write the name of Joseph here, and the speech is so important here. Yosef, Yosef, with the same letters. This is the final eight. If we write it in a different order, Pius, Pius is peace. Pius. There is a name of a pope. Pius is peace. Here, you see, those are the same letters. Here, he could speak peace. This is why his brothers hated him, because he was in the center in terms of when we look at the systematism of spheres. Joseph was in the middle. Here, and is a cup. Joseph is in the middle here. Yesod here. He's here. They hated him. They hated him. Here is the father. This is in a way Jacob. This is Joseph. They have something in common, and Judah here, so to speak. This is why also Judah sells Joseph. Yes, Judah is one tetragrammaton, and Joseph is 6 tetragrammaton, and Jacob is 7. See, they hated him because he could have unified speech. Questions?
Just to thank you, it's a new story, It's new words. It's Hadashim. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I hope it was not too condensed with mathematics, or because there is order in everything. And if we would appreciate the divine gift that was given to us, the divine speech, and we can use it properly and appreciate it. Many, many good worlds can be built by our speech, by our writing, by relating to people and to ourselves.
Et, just
Yes,
to bring her close to the conversation, because we started with Deborah, and
yes,
you said that Deborah is the word because we have the Davar, and Deborah,
yes,
I think, also is a bee, right?
yes, yes.
And the
The
bee
voice,
and the bees is the one who brings honey to the world, who brings sweetness, and sweetness is the tikkun as well, right? Takin, sweet.
yes, yes,
So
yes, yes. Deborah is also a bee in English. And the bee goes to the flowers and creates honey, and honey is a sweet liquid, and not just sweet, whatever is related or connects us to the root is sweet, not sugar. There's a difference between sugar and sweet. Whatever connects us to our root is sweet. And we know the difference between bitter and sweet. Sometimes, when events of times are coming in many shapes, we don't find taste in life. We feel that our life are bitter, or we feel bitter, or we have bitter speech, we have complaints because we are drowning in time. But when the speech is like sweet, sweet speech, Dvorah, from the bee that makes the honey, when the speech is sweet, there's a connection to the root, and the root is our soul. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much. Have a wonderful.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you for coming here today, and we can meet here tomorrow if you have time. Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you, thank you. Shalom, shalom. Bye bye.
Thanks.